So here's what I'd like you to do. If you haven't had an opportunity to warm up, I'm not going to go through formal warm-up. Guys, just spread out, start warming up. Keep your ears open. Okay? And then we're going to get started. Goju uses a lot of close-in techniques. It uses techniques that allow you to pull an opponent in. And typically when you do that, you're relatively close to your opponent. In most cases, people that you might spar with will try to spar with you at arm's length or leg's length and don't typically go in and stay on top of you. And when you have the ability to stand on top of the opponent, it's pretty disconcerting, and it gives you quite a number of openings because people aren't used to that. And I found a lot of people in our organization that I've been with over the years are not used to that. If you're right in tight to their body, they don't really know what to do. Some of them might try to grapple. A lot of them still won't. But karate has its place tight and close in. And I found it to be very effective against judo jiu-jitsu practitioners as well. It's just that you have to know how to get in. You have to know how to do your techniques. And when you're working with a partner, it's also important your partner understands what the effect of a technique would be and not ignore that. So basically, if we're working through a series of motions that are relatively slow to teach you a concept, and your partner ignores the fact that you just took his throat out or hit his groin, neither one of you are going to learn very much. You got to understand there is a cause and effect. And it's important that both parties, when you're working with partners, understand that, react accordingly. See, we have one more person coming to join.
I think we do. We should have one more after that.
What we're going to start with are really, we're going to partner up, and we're just going to do some basic techniques that might be utilized in close-in or in setting up close-in attacks and responses to attacks. You've probably seen a number of these, or you may have seen parts of these in sparring or in performing basics over the years. You'll see some rather unconventional techniques as well, because it's a great place to apply unconventional techniques. You know, we're not always at arm distance to do a full punch, so there are other things that you need to use and apply in these cases. So, if we can, I'd like everybody to pick somebody approximately their own height. Match up, and we'll get started with Angie. Let you two guys go together. And yeah. Use you for a second, and then you can trade off. Partner of the gym, so you don't have any need by me today to do it.
Don't listen to that.
Very simple. And I'm going to borrow him on occasion just to do setups. He's going to punch with this hand. A real basic move would be he attacks. I'm in tight, strike to the throat. Okay? So that side facing that wall is going to just step in. For right now, we're going to go nice and easy. You want to slide slightly out at an angle, wedging his fist, open hand, strike to the throat. Okay? What I'm going to teach you today are combat techniques. You know, these are reality techniques. These are techniques you would use close in an actual fight. Open hand, just like this, striking with this inside portion of your hand. Okay? Again, it's striking directly to the throat. So, here out, Alex. The striking area, I don't care where you strike in the face. The head is the target. Nice and slow. The person you're working with is going to slide in at a slight angle for the attack. Open hand, push the technique over, strike to the throat. You should be very close to the opponent when you do this. By sliding out into nice front stance, you should be right here with it. Okay? So let's try it. I'm going to count. Each. Now I just want to drive right in. You want it. this part here to strike into the throat. So and not push open hand here. Right? On my count. H. Good. You can also get a little bit of angle on you know.
Closer together.
Yeah. So you're not just pushing when it strikes here. We'll get a little bit tighter in the edge. It's time to come in and get in close. That's the hard part. Find the opening, take advantage of that. We're also going to work on that today. Then just warm up and then come on up and you can partner up with me. Next technique, again, we're going to use a very similar technique. We're going to have the opponent step in with the same punch. You're going to push the black over, wrap the arm, step in, again at a slight angle, take the opponent down. Basically, he punches, I'm stepping in, wrapping the arm, stepping beyond, and taking him down. A lot more effective if when you get in tight to the person and you have this arm, as you take him down, twist and turn. Okay? Twist your hips and turn. Now, be very careful when you're taking these people out. Okay? Very careful. Watch their arm. It's real easy to twist. So, again, here's what we're going to do. Okay? Now my partner, unfortunately for you. All right, tell you what. Again, as he punches, I'm just going to slide step in. Again, I'm relatively close. I'm pushing, wrapping. Okay? And stepping and turning. I'm taking them down. I'm not going to hold on to him very long after that either. All right? So let's try it. Nice and easy. With somebody, you'll see me get my shoulder underneath their arm here. Okay? I can twist his hand, do all kinds of things that are typical in judo or jiu-jitsu. That's okay. But this is the important part here. Okay, that's a joint. When I have this, all I need to do is step and twist. I don't have to get behind his leg. I don't have to take a big step. He's going to go with the joint, and he's going to go down. Okay? And we'll add something to this later since Alex wants to do some takedowns.
If you want, we do have mats available. If at some point you want to.
No, I like to everybody on the concrete. It's good training. All right, so again, now I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times. We're going to switch off again. And twist in your right.
You're going down before I even do anything, you know.
Now you got it.
She's like,
Hey, stopped in and punching. Then he's going to slide step in, wedging open hand, strike to the throat. Okay? So we'll go real slow. Each. Make sure you drive in. Make sure you get that frame just on the outside of it. Good.
Switch.
All right. H. Watch. Now straight. Okay, so you're going to do the punch. You're just going to step in, nice front stance, punch to the face. Okay, nice and easy. And I want you to stay relatively close to a body. That way, I'm in a great position. H. As soon as she starts to punch, start to move that foot in that direction. H. That's it. You know, I want you to take a little bit deeper step and slide step if you have to, so you end up right by it. H. Good. Are you getting blood on people over there? No. You're not allowed to get blood on anybody. You make me look bad. H. Stop that, no bleeding. Fine. Don't grab them, Benny. Here's what I want. Make sure that you're not grabbing them, or you're not hitting them flat, but you're hitting them in here, right here. Okay? And you can feel that. That's just and you know, I do want the person that's getting struck to feel a little discomfort, because if you just put your hand up there, you're really not properly doing the technique. And I want them to notice that it's where it's supposed to be, and what's being used, again, is this little bony section right here in your hand. Not this soft part. This part. Okay? Each punching the same way, all right? It's basically slide stepping in with the same blocking technique, wrapping, taking the hand, and push, step in, wrap, twist, and take down. Okay? Nice and easy. All right? Each. Okay, when you go down, not good. This is where you need to learn your break fall, by the way. I'm sure you guys know some break fall. But when you fall, you want to fall back down and slap with your arm flat as you fall. Yeah. Don't extend your extremities. You're going to lose them. Okay? You'll hurt yourself. All right? Each. Probably stepped in almost 2 feet there. You need to, this needs to be a natural progression. This wedge is this wedge, and then wraps. Each. Okay, twist. Ah, wait a minute. Don't throw them. See this? Yeah. I don't want that. You're getting your leg behind you. I do not want it. Here's what I want. As you slide out here, I want you to be in relatively tight stance. So when you twist, it's just going to go down. Okay. If you're stretching out trying to throw him with your leg, it's not going to work. Okay? Either that or it will work and your leg will get jammed. Each. Okay. What you're going to do is you're just going to wedge this over. So just open hand. You don't have to grab over it. Okay? And as this comes in, this is going to come up. Okay? Here. What do you show? Let me show you. Here. Now, I just wedged over. Let's see where my hand's at. I'm going to wrap this. See where this joint is here? Here. Push. Pull it tight. Step. Not going behind the leg. I'm just stepping. Now I'm going to twist and watch out. Just don't go in. Okay. So it's extend the hand. See what it must be really bad. Alright. Come in. Step with his foot. Okay, now push down on the arm. Push up. Okay, tuck it tight against your body. Okay, slide this foot forward just a little bit. Now, twist and push. Push down. Okay, look at it. I think what you're getting here is, if you don't get the wedge, if you're not wedging it in tight, then Angie's not, if I'm here, it's not quite as it. Will you resist a little bit? Now I'm out here. Okay. Sorry. Okay, if it's here, you got your whole body when you twist. She just doesn't want to get thrown down on a concrete floor, that's all. Yeah, there's a quarter inch peg. Yeah, that's a quarter inch peg.
It feels weird on my feet. The bare floor
Yeah.
feels kind of
All right, on my count again. Each. There you go. Good. Okay, try and take them down and stay with them. Don't just drop them. All right. Hey, girls, focus on the techniques that we're doing. No kicks, no extra stuff. Just do what we're working on. Okay? Can we do that? Yes? Are you sure? I'm not here to respond.
How about speaking?
Yes, that's
Say.
it. Open your mouth and say yes. Each. That's it. Okay, this will be helpful. Instead of just taking your arm like this and bending it, what I want you to do is actually pull this up.
It's a balance.
Push this over. Get this here. That's great. But what I want you to do is get your elbow up the stairs. Can you try that? Okay, make sure you're punching for the face. All right, let's try it new. So we'll take a turn now. The other side, besides punching now, is still going to punch. All right? Instead of going to the outside of the technique this time, we're going to go to the inside. All right, so Alex, step right in, strike to the groin. Okay, once you've done this and you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with stepping into the motion, I want you to actually strike on the inside of the leg. All right? If you can't do that, then you're jammed up too tight. And I don't want you to get too far away from the opponent. I want you being close, but here. So he knows I hit him. Okay? See, all my students know this because I do it to them a lot. All right? This is something that most people are not going to expect you to do this. You know, it's really fun to do at Black Belt Promotions. When you step in, you got this arm to do two things. One, wedge the backhand and strike. Okay, modification of that is step in. And we're going to do this one first. So it's just out, step, strike. Right, nice and even. Each. Nice and slow. Slide right in there and be tight. Okay? Okay. Here's what I want you to do. Instead of going pushing out this way this time, I want you to open it up this way. Slide in like this and strike the groove. Each. And if you're a judo jiu-jitsu practitioner, this can turn all kinds of interesting things. Okay, again on my count. Beat. Time. Here's what you want to do. When she punches, you block out. And instead of standing, what I want you to do is, and I know this is hard because you're just still learning, okay? But as she punches, be stepping and blocking here, and see how tight I am to her? Now if I hit the groin, that's where I want to be. And my arm's here, and so she's trying to do something with this other hand, it's kind of in the way. So two things. How's it going? You get that? You say H. That's it. Good. Neat. Loosen up, man. Just nice and easy as he comes in, just go. Now, I don't expect you to punch over there with me. I don't expect you to punch over there with him. You're supposed to punch him where? Yeah, it's his problem if he gets whacked. He's got rank on you. You should be able to get out of the way by now. Okay, if you're not punching where you're supposed to, you know, and I know you don't want to hurt anybody, but you're training yourself not to punch to the target, and we don't want you to do that. We want you to punch to the target. Right? Each. That's it. So figure a way to keep from getting hit. Neat. Now, the other thing that's kind of nice about knowing that your opponent's actually going to try and punch you is there seems to be a sense of urgency that's added to the training. In other words, you want to get out of the way. Neat. Time. Sheep. All right, we're going to add a little something to this now. Okay? Here's what we're going to add. When I open Alex up and come in and strike, all right, I'm going to twist my body and I'm going to drive in and he's going to want to go back. Okay? So as he goes back, I'm going to do something you don't typically see in karate, which is, go back, a body strike. We have it, but it's not as commonly seen or practiced. Okay? Once you get up a little higher in some of your katas, you'll see the technique. And same in some other places. So what I'm doing here is I'm still staying on top of him, and as he goes back, I'm staying with his body and I'm punching up. Okay, so the move is open, strike, you start to go back, boom. Okay. Ready? Nice and easy. Each. Now she starts to go back, and you want to step in.
No, I'm gonna go back.
But
You wanna go with me?
you got to step in, you got to follow her, stay close to her. Each. What happens when you twist your hips into a technique? You got more power, right? That's really what's going on here. I'm striking, twisting my hips into the technique, and staying with the forward follow. Each. If I didn't really twist my hips into this technique, it wouldn't be very strong. Neat. Huh? Sheep. Here's what you're going to do. First, when she comes in, you're going to open her, turn, step, and punch. She was going to try and get away from that. So but go real slow. Don't go back too fast for her. Kind of go slow motion. Each. Strike. Now what? Don't go back real quick. Wait for her. She's still trying to catch up so she can get in the right place. Once you're here, just turn your hips, let go with this hand, turn and punch. Okay, and then keep going in that direction. All right, let's try it again. Each. Eight. Sign. Good. Sheep. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Now, if you want to, Alex, you want to whack a little bit? Yeah. That way he's got bruises on him from somebody other than me.
I'll try and do one or two.
Okay, good. All right. Each. All right. Let's opposite side. Let's do the opposite side. We'll start out with this technique. Okay. Basically, we're going to do this. I'm going to open Benny up. I'm going to slide in to the side. And I'm going to strike with the groin. Start out with that. All right, so nice and easy. H. And you want to be a little bit, yeah, there you go. Me. When you step in, yeah, get your foot stance so it's not turn around. We can do something else if you want to turn, but I have to tell everyone else to do something else. 8. All right, are you confused?
Yes.
I'm so confused. Okay, let's try it. Okay, good. Hold in line. Okay. Slide, step in with your foot, turn your hip, using this hand, straight to the road. Okay, so try it, nice and easy. Shh. Okay, good. Now, slide, step in, turn your body, and strike to the road. And you're allowed to tap her there, so she knows she got hit. Each. Stay, that's good. Stay tight and make sure you touch her. If you're not touching anything, then you're not doing the techniques right. H. If you're not real open and not able to actually whack them in here, then you might want to try adjusting over slightly or not getting quite as tight. Okay? I still want you to stay close though. H.
The other way.
Yeah, when you take your step in, slide step so you're tight right here. Keep your feet close together. Because when we do the next technique, you want this to be here to follow. H. That's neat.
I like that, a little extra elbow, right? It should come,
Yeah.
it makes a good place marker, you know?
Well, there's a couple things that happen with that elbow as you get them to hesitate slightly, which is a misdirection. And also, if you really need to in this situation, you just hands back far enough, there's your block. Still strike.
Excellent.
H. Me. I'm not going to show you all my secrets today. I'm getting old, I need to keep a few.
I'm getting old, I need to learn a few.
Stop. Good. Sheep. Good. All right. Next technique, the addition, okay? Open, slide step in, strike, twist the hips and follow up with the uppercut. And you have to drive and keep stepping as you do the uppercut because the opponent's going to start to go back slightly, get away from it. Right, so nice and easy, each. Try and protect yourself, okay? You know, misdirection would be hitting you in the throat, so tighten up somewhat. Now, the other thing about this is tightening the throat is you can only do it for a short period of time. If you hold it, then you restrict your breathing, and that's more important. All right, let's continue. Each, these two techniques, right? Good. All right. Next technique. Okay. Alex, block, step in, strike or strike up with the arm. Okay. Sweep. Okay. Yeah, no, you didn't fall on your elbow this time. It's an improvement. There you go. So, you know, again, slide, strike, down. Now, I'm breaking this way down. Okay, it doesn't really happen that way. It's going to be as you drive in. It's going to be a little bit quicker. And this is a, you know, in Judo Jiu-Jitsu, this is what? Anybody know?
It's not a foot sweep. That looks sweet.
It's
You guys remember this one?
it's a reap.
Coastal Nagari.
Yeah.
Nature outside reef.
This up.
All right, nice and easy. Careful with your opponent.
Same side punching, sensei?
Yes, same side punching. H. You want to use your action?
That's a picture.
And he was a little surprised. I personally didn't want to do By the way, that's another thing about close sparring, or sparring period. You know, doing things that basically surprise your opponent is very important. You know, that's why some of these close-in techniques are good, because people usually spar like this. My turn. Betty steps back. I do a couple things, and then it's your turn, and Betty does, you know, and that's really not real sparring. Real sparring is Betty does something, and I got an opening, and bang, and bang, and bang, and you know, everything I can do to him. He doesn't get a turn. Okay? No turn for Betty. All right. Let's try it again. H.
You don't want to take more of an advantage.
I gotta step over this one, it's not like it's
Come across my neck instead of my chest or my shoulder. You lose too much of the muscle mass.
the camera away, I can't do this.
He's smaller than you, so, you know, this is going to help tip him. H. You know, I mean, this can be done any number of ways. You know, the reap is, you know, basically the body is going down and lifting the leg, and you've already got a disbalance, so it's going to go down. That's what the strike is really for. Yes, this is surprising, but if I hit him a little bit taller, especially if he is taller, that'll help him disbalance. You know, basically, if you're in here, it can be as little as a leg pop. I mean, if you've got him in that position, he's going to go down. H. Actually lift your leg, so when he comes in, okay, and you're in this balance here, I want you to be in this position. So this leg lifts, and down he's going to go. You know, I tell you, it's terrible when your students don't touch them. Hey, H. If you can again. Once you misdirect her here and kind of getting her upper body going, get your leg in here and actually, as you lift your leg, bend down. Okay? Hey? H, are you guys misbehaving again on this? She kicked you. There's no kicks in this. You guys are sisters, right? Well, I can tell. Me?
Your side left.
That's one defense.
It certainly is. Got it. Now we're getting the other.
Sometimes.
Me? There you go. Nice and smooth.
Right.
See. You really enjoy it.
Both feet.
H.
That's fine, so far. He was trying to keep it out of me. Now he's going to show me.
He is learning less to use his elbow. You know, fall on.
That's a painful.
H.
For someone my size.
Turning down. drop. You do trust him, right?
Oh, yeah,
You sure?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Everything else I got-
I would trust him.
everything else I've gotten a good hold of his thing every time.
Yes, sir. H. Lift that leg, Paul. Lift it. H. Knee. Time. You want to get, your leg is coming in front to begin with. So I want to get the leg over here on the other side. Instead of here, and then here. It's got to be, once you black is when it's here. You can talk to me anything you want. If you have a problem, say, hey, help me over here. Okay? What we're doing here is we're pushing back forward. You're going to step in here. See this arm? And just let her go. Way over here. Way over here. Way over here. Oh, down. Way over there. Whack her with the arm. Like that. Slide it over here. Now, that's what I There you go.
People think being off balance.
You know how to do the. Okay. I like to do this with Alex. Okay, Alex. Alex punches. All right. I'm gonna step in, grab, pull back, and sweep. Okay.
I almost have a defense for that.
Well, there is a defense. If the guy has no hair,
Grab his ear.
okay? The guy has no hair, open him up, grab his ear, okay? Pull and sweep. I guarantee you it'll work just as well. Either that or you'll have an ear in your hand, one or the other. All right.
I'll use that.
Nice and easy, okay? Step in each. Yep. You can give him a slight hug. Step here. As you grab, just to get him turned. So just, hey.
Those green belts, blue belts, this should be for pretty familiar pose.
Yeah. Good. All right. Hand up. Let's try it again. Okay. Each. Okay, lift up a little bit harder with your foot. Okay. Yeah. Nick, is your lower leg numb, Al?
No,
Oh, okay.
He's being tough, he doesn't want me to go where it hurts. I'll pick on it.
Side. You know? G. Okay, move in a little bit tighter to it then. H.
But you didn't kick your
He's got a lot of hair, so it's that.
She's afraid she's not gonna have them.
You don't have to pick up too high. Here's what I want you to do. Okay, once you've got her, this is what I want you to do. Grab her here, and I just want you to take your leg and bump. It's like, just bump. Okay? 8. Just a little bit lower. Don't do that. It hurts. Neat. All right. Well, let's take the opposite side now. The opposite side gets to the other concrete floor. All right. So nice and easy. Nice and easy. Just take a break. You sure? Yeah. H. step in, okay? You got nothing to grab, you can grab a smooth here. Ear, feet.
You gotta be a little bit more committed.
I'm stopping a little bit, I'm not going to take a lot of time. I mean, you can do either, it's up to you.
They
You
can go like
grab
this,
the
they
head,
go
you
like
grab
this,
the ear.
half a spoon.
He's got a mustache.
You won't believe the places I've grabbed these people. Eat. Eat. Yeah.
Here, this week you're trying to.
Bang.
That's what you were starting to do.
Basically open her arms. Doing this, stepping forward. Grab it here, grab it here. Hugging, taking it.
That's a deal for a foot swing. Lay down.
Alright.
Give me size.
Good.
Just cut the bottom.
Each.
Just gonna kick it from the top. There we go. Again.
It's up to you.
Get it more right in the center.
I find it's effective. Here's what you have to think in real application. The more painful and annoying I can make it for my opponent, the easier it's going to be for me to actually execute my technique. Okay? And I know it's a terrible thing to say, but it's true. Okay? So you're here. If I grab Benny and you know he's not comfortable right now, it's a little bit harder easier for me to apply my technique and do it such a way that it works. Each. Got the leg straight. Here's what happens. Once she's bent back,
You don't have to necessarily,
she's done the first fall. It doesn't take much.
as much as you have to go
Take down.
through, you have to be committed to going through.
Each, if you want to, Angie. Yeah. If you tug her a little bit, you know, on the gi or something, it'll help too. Nate. Here's what I want you to do. Try that. Closer to her.
It's not power, well, I mean, I know there's a size in it, but what I'm doing is, you know, not balance here, shots there.
Were you right here?
Isn't much.
You got it? I don't know.
I have a little harder to there. You know, but if I'm getting here,
Each.
it's still only gonna take me.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right. Everybody had a chance to do this now, all right? All right, good. Okay, next fun technique. Okay? Alex is going to punch me. Basically, I'm going to open him up. So, here, bang, elbow strike. Pull as you do the elbow strike. You want to pull because I want to misbalance this hand. I want to jam my body in. So if he does punch me, he's not going to cover very much distance. And apply my body twist behind the technique. Okay. So Alex's side is punching. Each. I want you to open her up. Open her up to the
Every time I start, there's always like wrapping around the head. You feel like a contortionist. It's good.
You're used to it then. That's right.
Each. Yeah, he's. Yeah, we do add some stuff here too in class too. Neat. Yeah. And I do want you to get that hip flexor in there, bow into it. Tug a little bit when you get the other arm. Tug him slightly. Each. Yeah, I need you to be a little bit closer to him, so when you got him here, you're kind of out here. You can still strike him, but I want you to be tight. I want you to be right here on him, and then, boom. Yeah. If he wants to do that, you can shift slightly and do something more.
this game.
Pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but don't pick your friends.
8. Eight. Ah. See? Don't look at me. Go.
I'm not trying to
Ruth.
I know. Just got your hard in the arm. Just hold it up against their push.
Hey, now.
She's like straight.
You guys hear, okay. What would you like me to go here and be your partner and do that day? You think it hurt? I guarantee you. Sign.
I couldn't remember which way we went. I was like,
You gotta open him. Open him as he comes in. You know, open him and bang.
Those illusion suddenly comes to life.
There you go. 8. You said you wanted to learn something. 8. That's you know, especially for judo jiu-jitsu practitioners. Judo and jiu-jitsu practitioners have that position so often, but since they don't kick, they don't use that tap.
Right, rules of the game say you don't do that.
That's right. Each.
Why do you stop? Not 1, 2.
Remember, you gotta step
Knee. There you go.
Don't you told me always put the pressure. After you stop.
Side. There you go. Nice and tight. It's okay. I do all the time. Nate. You know, your advantage is this. You have this the short hands have a lower center of gravity. When you drive in with this twist, it's a lot more effective because you're driving from the ground. Each. One step. What I want you to do is when you open them up, you're going to be right in here. Tight. Neat. Now, Alex, just I'll mention this to you. Did you notice as he committed and you pull where his body position is? Where's his stance at? Where's the weakness of his stance? It's in the direction of your what? Your stride. Where you put it. Yep. Okay. H. Knee. Time. That's it. Yeah, that's good, girl. Take it easy. Keep control. H. D. There you go.
You're not okay, but
Stop.
look where you're facing. When you go to the front stance, you should be facing forward.
That little
Hard
turn.
like this. So it's hard
Eight.
for you to do a technique. It's hard. There you go. There you go. See? So if you look like this front stance,
Again, when you do the technique,
you gotta stay.
when you step in, you got it. You got this.
You work like this, so it's hard for me
I want you
to.
to pose it. Just pull here. It'll help.
And then also you.
H.
That's why I keep moving. But you need to get in a better front stance too.
D.
So you're facing out.
So it's, it's a slight angle. You know, this is not only the strength, it's also
One of the questions I
Yeah.
had, as we were talking about it, in terms of getting the hip motions into it, when Paul was first started doing it, I was noticing it's coming through,
Mm-hmm.
and it's coming through with, whole body.
Yes.
Is it, and what I was just thinking, I don't know, I was curious, is when you come in, coming in straight.
There's actually two ways you can do it.
Okay.
These are both right,
Okay,
okay? One that you're talking about is more for the strike.
okay.
The other one that he's doing is more for
Take it. Okay.
And also, and typically in a sparring situation, a lot of times, you know, when we come here, you know, I've got my hip here, and I might be setting it a little bit differently than he is just because of our difference in range. Yeah. H. It's kind of like CC Sochin. CC Sochin, I've done it a couple of ways where you see this, or you see that. Both things work. One's a break, one's a takedown. H. That's really a good question. And that's understanding your body, motion, and what's going on.
That's what I was kind of over the question we're supposed to be doing it as far as the strike and the takedown.
Yeah.
That makes-
8. The simplest thing to teach anybody is, and we do this a lot, you know, we tell you when we first start training in karate, this is a block. It might not be a block, you know. Could be a break. But it's real easy to teach you that to get you started, okay? You know, everybody, what am I doing right here? Huh? What kind of stuff? Sancho. Gee, what else is it? Foot sweep. Yeah. You know, how many times you hear people say, that's a foot sweep when you start learning? No, that's our leg stance. You gotta step that way. And then the next thing you might hear is, you're closing off your groin. Yes, that's true, you are. Okay? But it's a long time before most people tell you that I've been training all this time to do this foot sweep. You just didn't know it. All right. Let's see, both sides haven't done it yet, right? Opposite side. Did both do it?
I think we both
All right, good. All right. I'm going to stop with the techniques right now. We can keep doing a bunch of them, but I want to do a little bit with a sense of, get you kind of feel with your partner what's going on in a sparring situation where you have an opening and then reacting to it. But we're not going to do it right away. Alex, remember we did this the other day in class? All right, now Alex and I are going to freeze our arms. Okay, and all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to move very naturally. I'm going to step towards Alex, and Alex is going to mirror what I'm doing. Okay? Now, and Alex is pushing towards me, and maybe I'm just going back and mirroring what he's doing. That's what we're going to do to start with. So I want you to get a sense of actually moving right with your opponent. Okay? Moving with your opponent. Then we're going to add something to it once you get kind of in the feel of this. It'll make it a little bit more interesting. Okay? So, basic thing is you want to just put your arm up, lock position, mirror your stances, okay? And just move. Okay? And you don't have to just move straight back and forth. You can move around a little bit, kind of add a little bit of angular motion to it. Okay? So, that's what we want to start. So everybody kind of pick a space. Okay? It's real important to sense and work with one another and mirror, you know, kind of what each other's doing. What you want to do, though, in order to get this, is don't think about it so much as just feel. Okay? Don't think about it so much. Now, do that stuff. Okay, make your arm step. Yeah, they gotta stay that way. Okay, now you step forward. Okay, you just, now, and what you wanna do is you wanna actually step at the same time she does and feel this coming and know she's gonna do that and then just do the opposite. Okay, now you push. There you go, that's exactly what we wanna do. Now, go straight, you can go straight back and forth for a little bit, but then I want you to start moving around. Okay. That's good. Key is to keep moving, don't stop. Try and keep your motion consistent and constant. A nice stiff arm, you want to keep it relatively stiff. Elbow bent. Okay? Everybody seems to have kind of the hang of this, okay? So stop for a minute. All right? Next thing we're going to do is, I'm going to assign each person to do different things now. You know, Benny is assigned to basically doing nothing but moving. Okay? But what Benny is going to do is, we're going to start this up, and we're going to do just exactly what we were doing. Okay? So, go ahead. At some point, Benny's going to skip, hop, skip like he's on the ocean. And I want to go right in. Okay? I want to get a sense of feeling that so I can go right into the opponent. Now, you're going into the outside here because of how we are holding one another. Okay? Eventually, you know, we'll switch hands and you'll do it this way so you can move the inside, which is a lot of what we're doing today. But this is much easier to work with right now. Get a sense of, you know, if Benny is moving and all of a sudden Benny shifts his weight or does something that's different, I want you to go in, drive in, and drive right up against him. Okay? Right up against him. Yes?
Like, when you're mirroring, should the person have this, like, if she has her
Right. So in other words, if you both have the same stance, her stance would mirror me over there, so her same foot is forward as mine is. Okay. But,
It's confusing for her, it's not.
You both have the right foot
All right.
forward.
so we have, okay, now, people on that side over there, you're going to be the skipper. Okay, now there's a couple things you can do. You can, when you go back, you can just kind of hesitate or bounce your step a little bit, or you can tilt your weight back so you're obviously off balance, okay? And that's the key for the other person to drive right in, okay? It's got to happen relatively quickly, and you want to drive in strongly, okay? Most people drive in, you know, it's okay, I'm driving in and it's just here. I don't want it here. I want you tight on the guy, okay? That's the key. All right. Ready? Go. Now, if you don't sense a skip or the misbalance, there's a problem. You know, talk to your partner. You just want to move over that a little bit. Otherwise, the 800-pound gorilla will get you.
No, I'm over here. That's where you go.
Shift your weight back on your heels on there. There you go. When you feel that misbalance, that's when you want to drive in. And
Not feel like you jump once.
the bigger he's gonna he really you want to go right in. And now, when you go in, you have to be stronger with your drive and faster than she is. I can say this, typically I find that the guy that's going backwards has got a real disadvantage, because if he's going backwards, faster usually than E10 forward. Especially since it's controlled like it is now. In an uncontrolled class that we do nice throws, you know, slingshots and other things like that. That's not what it's called, Japanese. Right on the top? Yeah. Try this one, Paul. As you guys move, try this one. My waist forward, your waist goes forward. Just want to do that naturally. But, you know, we're moving, you would, you know, try to move it, or she move with me, I'll go back.
Can you tell
But I want something to do this. We're moving, and this is kind of natural, just kind of got our waist forward. If all of a sudden I do this,
It's just kind of, I didn't go just.
that central was shoulders there,
Wanna.
boom, go right here.
It will fit.
You might-
When you drive in, you gotta watch so somebody's not moving, right?
Almost leaning, there wouldn't be much pressure, lean, go back.
Person that's
Right.
driving in,
Is that-
you're looking
that's
at
it.
Signal,
That's it.
or was that him just getting ready to take a step back,
If
or
you-
moving back?
If his body weight shifts back a little bit off its center of gravity, boom, go right in. You know, sometimes when you're sparring, you'll see a guy pull, shift back a little bit on his heels. And a lot of people will do that to move.
Right.
And boy, if he shifts back on his heels, he's already kind of going back. And
Okay.
you drive in really strong, and it's very difficult for him to respond. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's stop for a minute. It's, I'll give you a little drill to do. This would be very interesting. Okay. Okay, now this is sticky body. Okay. We use our invite teachers. Okay. Sticky body. We want to stay close to one another. Now, you know, this is real difficult to throw techniques, right? But you know, typically this is real nice. Okay. And so we're just going to trade these for right now. Okay. But as we trade these, what I want to really try and do is, and if he comes with this one, okay, I'm allowed to move my positions up and down. This is still what? That's still an elbow strike, right? But I want you to take it nice and easy and just flow with it. But the main thing here is, more than anything else, I'm not trying to teach you to use elbow strikes. I'm teaching you to stay with the opponent. Okay? Now, you know, adding this makes it a little bit more difficult, but if you can get by the fact that the guy's swinging his elbows at you and stay with them, that's what we want to focus on. And I like to add a little bit of that into my training, because without that level of difficulty or that challenge, you don't learn it as well. Okay? So what I want you to do right to start out with is just belt to belt. Okay? And the guy that's facing the wall is going to do the first strike. Just use your right hand, come around house with the elbow. Okay? And I want you to stay tight to your opponent. Stay tight. Okay? Now, you know, I have done this on class on occasion where I've actually tied their belts together. Makes it even more. Right? Each. Don't do that. Come on. Right. Other way. All right. And basically, Andy, that's your direction. You can now start to stay tight. Belt to belt. That's it. Paul likes it. Now, I'm gonna do this right now. Okay.
Whatever elbow you can do.
Relax. Okay? You breathe tension, he breathes tension, and we're not relaxed. What's the most important thing that I've been beating up on you about? Relax. And when you do, what happens?
Starting to get it up here.
Well, but you do a lot better. Okay? And tension only belongs in one place. It's the end of the technique. Or if I'm going to get hit, I may have to use some tension. Okay, now, the other advantage you want to use here is once you get used to kind of flinging the elbows around, now I want you to have a little step. Okay? And try and stick on the opponent. Now, what I'm going to do is, the guy that's on the wall side is the guy that's in charge of taking the steps. The other guy's got to just respond to that and move with it. Alright? Okay, so Benny, I want you to keep taking steps. You don't have to always hit him up there. You can hit him anywhere with the elbow. But, you're too far away. You got away from him. Yeah. You want to stay real tight to him. Hey, Angie? Yes, I want you to stand over the way. Oh, yeah, that's right. She is. You're in charge of stuff. So, once you guys get going and you're doing this, then you're going to get a step. You're going to start stepping as you do it. And she's got to move with you as you step. Relax, you guys. Do I have to come over there and relax you too? Stay relaxed. It's real important to stay relaxed as you do this. Over step now. Just drive on.
Watch me how we run some rookies doing, right?
Yeah. Step, roll out. One step. Every time you swing it up, I want you to move this feet. And guys, try and maintain your ball. Here, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it real easy. This all you get real easy. Now, if you feel a tug with each other, you're not close enough. Relax. The swing of the elbow is nothing more than, right now, just motion. You know, and that, don't be concerned about hitting the other guy, just the motion. And it's a distraction from sensing your body position. There you go. Now you got elbow to elbow, you're a little bit less conflicted about getting whacked in the head. Who's the stepper, Benny? You the stepper? Yeah. Step, Alex. Was it hard to make the move?
Let's see, the first time I did it, I was leaning forward the whole time. I was like, I'm doing it.
This is really common, okay? We talk about this in class. You know, black belts will have a sense of, we'll call it ki or energy, whatever you want to call it, okay? But you project yourself. So typically, if I'm projecting myself on Alex, you'll sense it, and he wants to move away from you. Okay? Same way with him coming in. You know, my energy field is pushing his. He doesn't want to like push into it. He's cautious about it. Okay? But what this is designed to do is get to feel more comfortable with that, because you're too close, and what I just did with those two guys is tie them together. And you have to stay really relaxed to get any benefit out of this. But this is also, you know, being this close is not common. This is something we don't commonly do. We're not this close. And eventually you need to learn that that's a real important thing to add to your bag. If you're close and you're able to do techniques, very often you have an advantage because the other guy isn't used to doing that. Or is very surprised by it.
Hey.
Are you whacking each other? Nice. Well, I didn't tell you guys. You guys. Well, you better be glad I'm not Santa Claus. Okay, you guys, should never speak up on yourself. You're working with one another. Now, did you hear me say this from one about the other side? So, you know, back in the eye, the chest, look at that elbow. That's all right. You have to relax. You have to relax and go nice and easy, okay? You have to relax. Let's try that. Can you do that? Now, relax doesn't mean get out of control. Relax means take it nice and easy.
We tend to do like Reggie shoulder thing.
Now you resist it, don't resist.
Chop love.
I won't let you face into the wall.
Don't, you shouldn't be, stick your, both, stick your own face me. Okay? This is resistance. This, push on. Oh, I thought you said right.
I think we're having for trouble today.
I told her to make me go back, and she's like, "Rah, rah."
All right. Escape. Bottom one left, right. Okay. So, you know, these are just drills. It takes a while to work with some other people and start to get some benefit out of them. I want to throw a number of things at you today. And I can't tell you everything I'd like to tell you, but these are some of the things we want to work on. Again, a sense of staying close to the opponent. Okay? I know that many of you, when you spar another individual, a lot of times there's a point in sparring where you feel like you have a tremendous amount of momentum when you do your attack, and that the other person is worried about only one thing, and that's getting away from you. Okay? I want that feeling to be taken to another level now. Okay? And make that whole thing a lot stronger. And these drills, getting in and sticking tight, sticky body to that person will help you do that. I mean, it's an overpowering feeling with an opponent, even if it's about your own size. It's like in your face constantly. You know, you end up many times just trying to get away from what's going on, and once you've done that, you've lost. And that's what your opponent wants. That's what we wanted. We want to get that feeling. All right. We're going to stick with our same partners. And again, I want to add a few more techniques because I don't have time to do the other stuff I want to do. So let's spread out again and get in our same position with our partners. And we'll add a few more techniques to that. You can go right here, girls, if you want. Go right here. Eric's claimed that space. You don't want to fight with him about that space. It's his. All right. Wall side. Still doing the punch. Okay? So go ahead and do your punch. All right. This side. Okay? Same thing. I just want you to basically open them up. Okay? I want you to step in, strike, and pull, and take them right around your body. Okay? So now, again, you know, elbow strike can be used in two manners. And we were kind of discussing this back here. One is, if I actually do an elbow strike, it's going to be bang. Okay? But if I get him in a position where his stance is weak, I can use this to leverage, basically, throw or takedown. Okay? Not something you commonly see. But, okay, how many guys here do Sisochin? Okay. Okay, you see Sisochin, you might have seen Sisochin done a couple different ways. Where Sisochin steps out and goes like this. Okay? And everybody that is studying it or sees it say, well, that's a break. Okay? Or you'll see it done like this, which is take. Okay? It's still pressure against an elbow. Okay? But it's all this body motion, nice and smooth, typically doesn't translate into a break or a strike. It translates into a throw or a takedown. And that's where all this nice hip motion comes in by. All right, so this is what I want to do again. You know, you're going to open them up, you're going to step it in at an angle, you're going to pull on this arm, and take them right down. Okay. Same motion as the elbow. All right, let's try it. 8. Get right tight to him. Don't get too much space outside of the opponent. Get right tight. Get the hip. 8.
I'm shorter, so I can't like reach their neck appropriately to put pressure on it.
Well,
So I have to come
if you can reach
lower.
your neck here, fine. If not, what I want you to do is chest, okay? And then as you step thrust, pull. The shoulder down. See? She went down.
I just wanted to let you know that since I'm shorter, I can't really, I gotta go up.
Yes!
It's not gonna be effective.
8. Twist them the other way, you can do the step. Step. 8. Yeah, first time I had that applied to you was by Mr. Chinat. Remember Chinat? Yeah. It was real interesting. You got to turn over so that you face down, had it twisted, basically just sat here.
Yeah. I've never had to do that. I mean, we've talked about that.
We got it again. 8. Oh, he's trying to trap your leg. You're trying to trap his leg when you go down.
See see if I'm like against your leg, I'm not gonna be able to spin.
Yeah. Comes into it.
Yeah.
8. He's got it. Probably from taking all those falls.
Given the size differential, I don't want to land on him.
Yeah. Neat. Or vice versa.
I think I can avoid that.
Okay, you don't have to hold it forever. You're back up.
At least the technique they hold.
8.
Stop that. Don't start turning before you do it. I should go here.
Good looking. Neat.
We have to practice some jujitsu tonight.
Stop. And back up again. You know, it's kind of funny. We do talk about different things that we've exposed ourselves to and trained in. You know, judo, jiu-jitsu, goju, kabuto, whatever. Okay. At least in terms of how I view goju karate, there are a lot of takedowns. There are a lot of, you know, controlling moves in what we do. Okay. And in many of the styles and influences on goju that came from China, there's a lot of that circular motion. There's a lot of these folding techniques that come from those styles and influenced us. So they're in what we learn, but we don't see them represented very often. You know, we see typically more kicking and more punching going on, and not so much in terms of controlling moves or takedowns or some of those things. And I'd like us to probably practice that and reflect on where those things are in our kata, because it's like we're missing a big portion of what we're actually training in if we don't do that. And a lot of these things, in some cases, are very interesting. You know, you'll practice your kata, and after you've seen some of these things, in particular Seiunshin, you may see some things that we've done today that you might see coming from Seiyunchin Kai. You might see some going back as far as Saifa. Okay? Saifa has these folding type movements in them. So, folding moves. All right, so break up again, we're going to do the next move. And after we do two, then we'll switch sides again. So, real simple, Alex is going to do a punch. I'm going to grab Alex, turn his arm, so his elbow's to my body, okay? I'm going to shoot my arm up. I'm going to leverage it. So basically I've got what? A joint block, and I'm going to take him down. Now, I could do it properly with my foot, but I'm not going to because I don't want to drop him. All right, so again, I will not the technique here is a punch is coming, I'm grabbing the arm, I'm moving in, I'm turning the hand over so his elbow's against my body, shoving my arm up. Now I have basically the joint lock. Now from here, I can attack that leg, he's going to go down. Okay? If I take him down, I control him. Okay? The only reason I have the end of the foot, it's a lot easier to drop. Much easier. As a matter of fact, if I was going to do it properly, that's what I would do. All right? So let's try it. H. Or just slide it. This can be extremely good. Okay? As he punches, if you get him turned, you want to drive. Yeah. And I guarantee you he'll bend. And it's even more